3 months after my brother lost his battle with cancer, I was still trying to accept that he was gone. Then, I received a call from his lawyer asking me to come to his office immediately. He handed me a small pen drive and repeated my brother's final instructions. Watch this alone. Do not let your wife know it exists until you finish the video. I laughed at first because it sounded impossible, but the moment I pressed play, my brother looked straight into the camera and said, "If you are watching this, then I was right. Your life is in danger, and the person closest to you cannot know what I am about to reveal. I never imagined my brother would leave me something more valuable than money." His name was Michael, and he had spent the last year fighting cancer with unbelievable strength. During his final weeks, he barely had enough energy to speak. We all believed his last concern was making sure his family would be financially secure. None of us expected that he had been quietly investigating something before he passed away. When the lawyer called me, I assumed it was about paperwork. Instead, he locked his office door, placed a sealed envelope on the table, and said these were Michael's final instructions. He made me promise to watch the video alone and never mention it until it ended. His voice was serious enough that I agreed without asking more questions. That evening, I waited until my wife went to visit her parents. I plugged the pen drive into my laptop. The screen stayed black for a few seconds before Michael appeared, sitting in the hospital room. He looked weak, but his eyes were calm. He smiled and said, "If you are seeing this, then..." I did not survive long enough to explain everything in person. He told me he loved me like a son, and that what he was about to say could destroy my marriage if I reacted emotionally. He asked me to listen until the end before making any decision. Then he took a deep breath and started explaining. Months before his diagnosis became serious, he noticed strange financial activity involving our late father's investment account. Someone had been moving money through several bank accounts using fake documents. At first, he thought it was identity theft, but after hiring a private investigator, he discovered something far more disturbing. The investigator found that someone inside our own family had access to every document. Michael refused to say the name immediately. Instead, he showed copies of emails, screenshots of transfers, and security camera images. Every piece of evidence pointed toward one person who had been manipulating people for years without anyone noticing. Then Michael surprised me again. He said, "Your wife is not the person stealing from our family. She has no idea what is happening, but someone very close to her has been using her trust to hide everything. If you accuse her now, the real person will disappear forever." I paused the video and felt my hands shaking. Every instinct told me to confront my wife immediately, but I remembered Michael's warning. I forced myself to continue watching. The next part contained instructions. Michael asked me to visit a safe deposit box using a key hidden inside an old family photo album. Inside that box were original documents proving who had forged signatures and transferred the money. He said only after collecting those papers should I contact the authorities. The following morning, I found the key exactly where he described. My heart raced as I opened the safe deposit box. Inside was a folder filled with contracts, bank statements, and handwritten notes. Everything matched the information from the video. I contacted an attorney before speaking to anyone else. Together, we reviewed every document. The evidence was overwhelming. Someone had built an entire plan around the assumption that Michael would never live long enough to expose the truth. When the investigation officially began, the real culprit panicked. Phone records, financial transactions, and surveillance footage connected every missing piece. The authorities recovered a large portion of the stolen money, and several forged documents were confirmed by forensic experts. The hardest moment came when I finally spoke to my wife. I showed her the video and every document. She broke down in tears because the person responsible had also deceived her for years. She had unknowingly trusted someone who had been manipulating our entire family. If I had ignored my brother's instructions and confronted her, before watching the full video, the evidence could have disappeared forever. My brother knew he would not survive long enough to protect me in person, so he planned every detail before he died. His final message was never about revenge. It was about truth, patience, and making sure the people he loved were safe after he was gone. It reminds me that truth often arrives when we least expect it. My brother lost his fight with cancer. His final gift was not money or property. Share it with your friends and family. Comment your thoughts below